big time politicians, world leaders, scientists, Nobel.
Yeah, you got, if you're Bill Clinton, you got to kiss somewhere, you know what I mean? Like, you got to do a little bit of kid. You just got to do it on a private jet. That's what Jeffrey Epstein provides, you know? That's crazy, man. What is Joe saying?
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Joseph Robinette Rogan. Joseph Robinette Rogan. Is he, among many others, I feel like, is jumping ship here. This video details the political grift is over by American Redact. Details how all of these podcasters that like rode the MAGA train and sucked it dry are saying, you know, enough is enough. We don't like it. Joe Woken, they're saying. Let's see what he has to say about this.
From the beginning, and especially when you found out that Comey's daughter was going to be the judge. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah. Wasn't she the same judge on the Ghislaine Maxwell case? Yeah.
Oh, yes, I did hear this.
Yeah. Bro, where's the videos? They were telling us the videos are going to come out. Incredibly high-profile people doing horrendous things, evil things.
Stop giving this piece of shit grace. When have I done that? Like, maybe in like 2017. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, I forgot. Trump also has another Epstein statement that just came out, fresh off the presses, before we move on to Joe Woken. Okay?
I know you've urged people to move on, but I'm curious, why do you think your supporters in particular have been so interested in the Epstein story and so upset about how it's been handled? Why
I
do you
don't
think that
understand
is?
it. Why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time.
Boring is boring. He's been dead. He's been dead for a long time. Why do you care? Stop caring. Please stop caring. I hate that you care about this thing that I obviously also talked about and said I would deliver to you.
Was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. I really don't. And the credible information's been given. Don't forget, we went through years of the Mueller witch hunt and all of the different things, the Steele dossier.
Dog, okay, you know what this is like? You know what I just realized? This is like when Israel defenders will be like, oh, it's blood libel to say that Israel's killing children. It only makes people go, wait a minute, but Israel is killing children. Is blood libel real? What the? That's what he's doing. He's literally telling his supporters who have understandably, or not understandably, but like his supporters who think like Russiagate is a bad thing, Russiagate is fake, it's phony, that the Epstein Association is also phony, just like Russiagate. Basically, this is going to backfire because it makes it feel like people go, wait, maybe there are piss tapes. Like, what do you mean? Now I think maybe the piss tapes are real because like they all obviously believe and are firmly committed to the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. It's crazy. The Democrats are doing the same thing, but there's a lot more important things to focus on. No, I would say that the Democrats are actually kind of pushing on this, surprisingly enough, which is exciting. Oh, yeah, the UN, all three independent experts on the UN Commission of Inquiry on the Occupied Palestinian Territory in Israel have resigned amid a broader U.S. crackdown. They resigned because they didn't want to get hit with sanctions, as Francesca Albanese has been by America. It's pretty up.
People are going to go to jail.
Oops, sorry. Let's continue.
Which was all fake. All that information was fake. But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. Really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say.
It's so boring. This Epstein stuff is so boring. Dude, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, this guy, he's so nervous. I've never seen him like this. I've never seen the boy this nervous to move the conversation away. It's kind of crazy. Normally he's able to just like jujitsu his way out of this stuff, you know, bob and weave, move along. Nothing to see here, but this is one of those things where he's just like, why do people keep saying I'm a pedophile? I've only had sex with one child. Like, what the? Please stop. It's crazy. Don't say it. Don't say it. Stop saying it. Don't say I've been blackmailed. I don't even think that, I'm going to be honest, I don't even think that he's like implicated directly in the Epstein files in some capacity. Maybe he is. I don't know. But I think the real reason, my mom just said, please, I'm sure he is. Like, she's like, no. She's like, she doesn't believe it. Anyway, but for me, I think the real reason is like, I think he got the boss call from Israel. That's what I think. Because when Richie Torres came out against it, that's when I was like, maybe there's some other stuff going on here. Like I could see like the American intelligence community, or at least like sympathetic figures of Trump being like, yeah, we can burn some of this stuff. But then Israel being like, you can't burn this. And then he's like, my bad, I was wrong. Would you like if people kept asking for information on your dead secret lover? Oh, he loves Jeffrey Epstein.
Let them have it.
This is wild. And it's funny to see. Also, Ro Khanna and Representative Thomas Massie are introducing the Epstein Files Transparency Act, a bipartisan bill to require the Attorney General to release the files within 30 days. Representative Massie is working on the rule to ensure there is a vote. The public deserves to know where every member stands. This also, especially coming from Thomas Massie, this also feels a little bit like, oh, I mean, isn't this new? No, this is new. This is after the House vote took place. This is another one. Earlier this morning, the House, every Republican unanimously voted against releasing this, but this is a new one. Wait, what is this? Jeffrey Epstein files likely destroyed, Republican congressman says. Oh, that's awesome. Epstein, that's a new angle. Except that's not what Trump said. Trump said they wrote the Epstein files. So, this is from July 10th. Well, Trump already destroyed this as an argument. So, CNN covering Epstein conspiracy now. Video, we have to watch this. This is so funny.
We go to
Travis from South Dakota calls into Glenn Beck, and you have to see like how Glenn Beck reacts to this, because it is so instructive on how these guys operate.
Travis in South Dakota. Hello, Travis.
Hi, Glenn. Hi, Jason. I tell you what, guys, I feel really betrayed, and I feel really, really angry. We have a president who tells us to move on from Epstein because it doesn't matter. Are you guys still talking about this? Seriously? And yet he still talks about the 2020 election fraud. He talks about.
Oh my God. I love that he goes, you don't shut up about 2020, but you want us to shut up about Jeffrey Epstein? That's crazy. That's way more
the
important.
Hunter Biden laptop. He talks about all this stuff from 5-6 years ago, and he tells us to move on from the Epstein trial or the Epstein case. People like me will not stop talking about this. I feel so betrayed and so angry. This is not what I voted for. If we do not stand up for the children of this country, we have nothing. We have absolutely nothing. And I tell you what, I've also lost a lot of respect for a lot of people that are prominent figures in this country, because they are saying, you know what, this doesn't matter. Like,
I'm sorry, dude. I told you this shit ain't going away. I told you this is a break off point for many. This is a person who's calling the Glenn Beck show. Like, think about how in the tank you are, that you are literally a fan of Glenn Beck in the year 2025. Okay? He's not on Fox News anymore. He's on a network that is barely held together by donors, big donors, at the Blaze Network. And this guy from South Dakota is calling in to his favorite content creator, Glenn Beck, on the verge of tears. Okay? He's on the verge of tears. He's like, dude, my entire worldview is falling apart, dude. Like, this is straight up. Like, this dude is straight up at the tip of the spear. This is the Fedayeen of the Trump base. This is literally the most diehard Trump supporter you can arrive at. Like, he's not watching just regular Greg Gutfeld, you know? He's not just like sitting around watching Fox News. He's not even sitting around watching Tucker Carlson. He's watching Glenn Beck, the perhaps 15th most influential, or not even 25th most influential conservative on the independent media sphere, okay?
Carrie Lake came out on Saturday. She's like, you know what? what really matters is election fraud and post-election fraud. It's like, you know what? The children of this country really, really matter. How can we just sweep them under the rug and not care? Move on, America. Move on.
Travis, thank you for calling. Let me ask you, is there anything that could be said that would make you go, okay, that's as good as it's going to get for here?
I want transparency, and
Bro, that question is so crazy because he's just like, what will it take for you to shut the up? That's literally what Glenn is saying here. He's like, what will it take for you to move on, dude? Come on. Just give me the talking point. Give me the talking point so I can figure out what you can hear so we can move on from this and never talk about it again.
I want justice. All them children, all those families, everything they went through, I don't want to know their names. I pray that God would be with them and give them some sort of peace if they could ever get it. I want transparency and I want justice.
Is there anything that anyone could produce to show you and have you go, okay, Epstein is dead.
Like, what? Please, bro. Travis, please, what will it take for you to shut the up, dog?
Gladwell is in prison, and that's the only justice you're going to be able to get.
I want evidence. Quit telling us that, he killed.
He's like, you think I haven't heard this one before? Yeah, he's doing Pawn Stars. Best I can do is Ghislaine Maxwell's in prison and a shut the up. Okay? That's the best you're
himself, and we saw everything. We have the information, by the way. It doesn't exist. Show us the information. Make me believe. Help me believe that he killed himself. Help me believe that maybe you don't have any evidence against people. Then show us that stuff. I do not trust the government at all, and yet they expect me to take their word for it. I'm sorry, you lost your credibility a long time ago, government. You need to start gaining the trust of these American people back. And I really hope and pray that they can at least provide some sort of evidence.
How do you prove the negative, Travis? See, that's where I'm at. I think I'm right where you are. I'm beyond. I don't have a horse in this race. What I have is common sense. And what I have is maybe a bunch of people hyping this up for a very long time, but then I need somebody to say, hey, these people were hyping this for this reason, and here, let me show you how that was done. I want to believe. I want to believe in the good. So help me, but I don't know how you prove a negative. How do you prove there is?
I think if I am guys like this, okay, I am deeply worried about where that anger and resentment will inevitably lead up to. Because all of these guys got an arsenal of weapons, okay? Maybe they're on not the best mindset either, okay? Big dog, you can't come across like you are also refusing or, playing cover for the administration, okay? I'm just saying, dude. Not the most, not the best, most mentally sound individuals out here in the Glenn Beck audience, okay? I mean, Glenn Beck himself was like insane, literally. That's the reason why they had to fire him from Fox News, because he was like losing his goddamn mind. And also the crippling addiction, I think, to painkillers, if I'm not mistaken. It's like, even worse, if you're the guy who they tricked into trusting they would be hell-bent on vengeance way more than they would be against those dumb socialists. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you're pissing off a lot of dudes that wear tinfoil hats with regular frequency, unironically, and have an arsenal of weapons, okay? I mean, heck, 2 of the people that tried to kill the president were either former Trump voters or registered Republicans. You don't want those pissed off at you, dude.
There's no evidence.
I absolutely agree. If all these people like me are all upset about this Epstein client list and it's all been for naught all these years, then help me believe that, you know what, you've been wrong this entire time, and actually there's some really good things out there. And if it's the opposite, show us that evidence too. We're all right now.
Yeah, Glenn, 4 months ago.
All right.
Who hid the Epstein list for years? We need full transparency.
So here's what Pam Bondi said.
It's pretty sick what that means.
Yeah. At a certain point, these guys in the independent media content sphere have to realize that, like, what these guys are doing under the auspices of independent media is actually no different than what Fox News does, and that it's no different than what MSNBC does for the Democratic Party. This is a breakoff point for a lot of people, and they've never actually had to come to terms with this reality because the administration is very good at drip feeding treats to the masses like this, okay? They're very good at like offering something here and there that is not actually disruptive to the pre-existing hierarchies of capital. Whereas you kind of start realizing all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, there are things that I want and these guys won't give it to me. And all of these supposedly independent voices online are actually defending the administration when the administration itself is actually not is doing something that I don't want it to do. It's because they are grifters. And they have always defended the establishment position, the Republican establishment position. That's it. That's it. That was always the case. Okay? And there are those who are not like in the MAGA loyalist payroll. That's why Andrew Schultz and them are like jumping ship, right? They were just hanger-ons and basically were simply like pushing this narrative because it was like a rocket ship, just like those people who were like pro Andrew Tate when Andrew Tate was like popping off, right? They were just hitching their wagon to an existing popular movement that they saw was blowing up. However, there are the actual establishment loyalists, like the people who are loyal to the Republican Party through and through, the establishment of the Republican Party. People like Glenn Beck, people like Charlie Kirk. They know where their bread is buttered. They will always defend the admin. Charlie Kirk hitched his wagon to Donald Trump after being an anti-Trump Republican in the primaries, and he never looked back. And he was rewarded endlessly for it. A lot of people don't know this. Charlie Kirk, back in the day, used to go on Fox News and shit on Donald Trump. Very quickly swapped when he saw the writing on the wall and became a pro-Trump guy, and he's never shied away from that. Ben Shapiro was anti-Trump because he was like, these guys were the pro-Republican Party soldiers. Once they realized quickly that Trump was the Republican Party and would be the future of the Republican Party, they became pro-Trump because they're just Republican Party mercenaries, okay? They're Republican Party hitters. That's it. And for many in the audience, they never fully understood that these guys weren't actually independent voices at all, and we're simply doing propaganda at the behest of the Republicans. Anne, lütfen, çünkü orange oluyor kapı açık bıraktığın zaman benim burada. The light, no, that's not helping. That's not helping. No, because the light is shining off the door. Thank you. It's fine.
All we have to go on is the word and trust of the United States government, and they don't tell us anything. So this is what we found in the documents we're going to give you are going to be, mostly redacted, but the information's there. We just can't show it to you. You got to help us out a little bit. There's a lot of good in this country, but you got to help us out a little bit.
Travis, I don't think anyone could have said it better than that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Travis. Here's Megyn Kelly.
I believe Trump's in the Epstein files insofar as he was friends with Epstein for 15 years. He knew Epstein. And there are people who hate Trump who probably threw some scurrilous allegations in there. But nobody believes Trump had an affinity for the underage girl. That's just.
Trump literally, one, said his own underage at the time daughter was sexy. Okay. Ivanka. Trump literally also has on the record said Jeffrey Epstein likes him young, just like I do. So no, the idea that he doesn't have an affinity for underage girls or whatever is insane. He quite literally associated himself with Jeffrey Epstein on that affinity. Ridiculous.
Such bullshit. Maybe he was at some Epstein party. Trump says he never went to Epstein Island, and I believe that too. That would be something to extraordinarily lie about. I believe Trump's in the Epstein files insofar as he was friends with Epstein for 15 years. He knew Epstein, and there are people who hate Trump who probably threw some scurrilous allegations.
Oh my God, I just realized Trump was also tight with Mr. Bad Boy Records himself. P. Diddy, too. Trump was also homies with the Diddler. That guy's got a bad track record, bro. That's crazy. But here, let's hear how Joe Rogan manages this stuff. I suspect he's like jumping ship, right? He must be.
Jail. People are going to be shocked.
Yeah.
Where?
Right.
Nothing.
Well, like
Zero.
my thing about the Diddy thing
Provided to
is like,
CBS News.
Soon. Thursday night. You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Okay.
Bro, he definitely has an affinity for young girls. What the f do you mean? Didn't he used to go into the dressing rooms and at the beauty pageant too? Come on, man. Trumpy, like the Epstein angle was the one I expected.
I don't really give up. These people are they're of age. They're like 18 years old. And is it shitty what he's doing, trying to...
That's crazy that he's saying that he doesn't care about rape. Like, he doesn't care about when adults are raped or coerced to do sexual acts. That is an insane statement to make. Oh my God.
like use people and leverage them into do these weird sexual things and like sick shit, just the most sick shit you could possibly think of. But like the way I look at it is these people are using this Diddy stuff. All it does is like take away from the real child trafficking that's going on with like underage kids, right? There's like what 300,000 something like missing kids. Like talking about Diddy and his oil parties with these 18-year-olds, like, do I think it's good? No. I want to beat up their dad, but other than that, I don't really give a if there's like 18 to 19-year-olds that are doing this stuff, as long as they're not being like actually like physically raped. But I mean, it seems like what's going on is just like this weird cultish thing where they slowly get creep closer and closer and closer to this thing. Like, oh, I'm here now. All these famous people are here. They're doing this like
elaborate parties, lots of money, everything you want. The golden carrot at the end of the stick.
right.
So the thing is, he's not even being charged for any of the things you just brought up. He's not being charged for blackmail, which is kind of crazy because, what did they do? Why did they tell us that there was all these videos of all these high-profile people and then silence, and then it never comes up once during the trial? There's none of that stuff in the trial. In the trial, it was his ex-girlfriend Cassie. They were talking about, so like. He's up for these 2 charges left, and it's like prostitution, something. It's like nothing stuff. It's like stuff that he's going to go to jail for like 5 years, if at all, and probably won't.
Right.
And he's already been in jail for. So like, what is time served now? It's over a year, right?
Yeah. No, I think he's going to walk, dude. I mean,
I think he's going to walk
I don't
too.
think he's going to spend any time.
And this is what Kurt Metzger called a long time ago. As soon as he saw that it was Comey's daughter, he was like, oh, he's going to walk. Trust me, he's going to walk. There's a bunch of high-profile people that are connected to this.
Yeah.
They're covering it all up. If he goes down, they go down. So he's not going to go down.
Right.
So that's the thing. Like, if he really did have like really wealthy, high-profile people at his parties, which we know he did, you know, Diddy prosecutors abandoned multiple allegations against rapper days before trial's end. Hey, he says, hey, remember I called it? This is Kurt Metzger on Twitter. Because James Comey's daughter is the prosecutor. Yep. Remember how well she swept up on the Ghislaine trail?
Yep.
Hey, who else called it?
Yep.
I can't be the only one. Yeah, he called it.
Yep.
He called it in the
this now.
fucking. He called it in the green room of the mothership. Right when he found out, he goes, he's going to walk. I'm like, what are you talking about? Have you heard these charges?
Yeah.
He's going to go to jail.
Yeah.
No, Metzger was right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then we I don't know what happened with Ghislaine
you don't
Maxwell.
think
What's
they
she
could
doing
fake
right
the
now?
moon landing?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the up. They've got videotape, and all of a sudden they don't. You know, you have the director of the FBI on this show saying there's no if there was, nothing you're looking for is on those tapes. Like, what? Why did they say there was thousands of hours of tapes of people doing horrible shit? Why did they say that?
Right.
Didn't Pam Bondi say that?
What, are you talking about Epstein or Diddy?
Yeah, Epstein.
Yeah, she said it literally, I think, a week before you had the FBI director sitting here telling you there was nothing, right?
She said something about that there was like
Joe,
thousands of hours.
Yeah, Joe, remember when you had the FBI director on here? Speak on it, Joe. That was so disastrous. It was like that was a terrible way to start this Epstein saga. As soon as that shit started popping off, what is this? And then the Elon tweet dropping in the middle of it? Oh, yeah.
Of tapes of people doing horrible crimes.
There is. And didn't the FBI dude say that there was nothing?
Cash Patel said there's nothing you're looking for. Oh, okay.
Oh, you don't believe it?
I mean, what am I going to do? I'm going to push back.
Right. No, of course. I
obviously,
understand.
he's saying what he has to say.
Right.
Mystery surrounds the Jeffrey Epstein files after Bondi claims tens of thousands of videos. Tens of thousands. Jesus Christ.
I'll tell you what.
Chill. Oh, my God. Was reviewing tens of thousands of videos, the wealthy financier with children or child porn. The comment made to reporters at the White House days after a similar remark to a stranger with a hidden camera raised the stakes for President Donald Trump's administration to prove it has in its possession.
Bro, he said, what am I supposed to do? Push back. Don't forget that Joe Rogan pushed back on his lifelong friend, Dr. Rhonda Patrick, during COVID because she was literally talking about best practices and also vaccine efficacy. Like, what do you mean? You're not going to push back on the FBI director? He came on your show, big dog. What are you talking about? Chat is delayed, King. Is it? Spam 2. Spam the number 2 if it's delayed. 1, 2, 3. No, it's not delayed. It's like only 1 to 2 seconds delayed.
And previously unseen compelling documents. Or just bomb Iran. And everybody forgets
Just
about
bomb Iran. Yeah.
Everybody forgets about it.
Yeah, it seems crazy that we're just I would think just Trump's demeanor, his MO towards other countries, like if we're the ones funding them, giving them all this money and they're trying to fight a war, like typically he would be putting his boot on their neck, like, listen, he's talking shit, right? Like you have to do what I want you to do. And it just seems like
with Israel.
And now I think it just came out a couple days ago that they're trying to prosecute Netanyahu, right? And then Trump's helping with it, I think, trying to help him, Netanyahu, in that whole rigmarole.
Well, they're trying to try him while he's while he's in office,
right? And I think that
he's trying to delay it because he's like, look, we're at war,
right?
And they decide to go through with it.
Yeah. And I think something came out, I think a couple days ago. I could be wrong, but I was listening to Dave Smith talk about how Trump was actually like helping him through this. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Okay, here it says, during a Fox News Channel interview in February, Bondi suggested an alleged Epstein client list was sitting on her desk.
Yeah. Well, the list is one thing, right? I mean, there's so many people on the list that are probably innocent, but they're
right. They just went to the island for a party.
No, there's got to be a hard drive.
There's got to be
sitting in Tel Aviv right now.
Yeah, listen.
That's the other part of this too. They asked Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyers what their shit. Where was it? It's up here.
He had like 100 cameras in that penthouse, in every single house.
Do you know his house is for sale in New York?
That's amazing.
Yeah. And
should make that a podcast studio.
No, my wife found it on Trulia or whatever it is.
Yeah.
One of the maps. And she's like, look at this beautiful, because we were in
the
New York.
Townhouse?
Yeah, like it's not a townhouse. It's a house. It's a big ass house. It's like multiple stories.
The one right across the street from Central Park?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That one. It's for sale right now.
How much?
I think it was like 60 or 70 million, something like that, which is what it's worth. But who wants to live in the Epstein house? If I bought that house, I'd want the Clinton painting. Can you get me that painting?
Yeah.
Clinton in the
it's
blue dress.
It's got to come with all that shit inside.
I have to have that painting. I want George Bush with the Jenga towers and the paper airplanes. I want all of it.
And then the lady just died too. The lady got hit by a car. One of the witnesses.
Yeah.
One of the Jeffrey Epstein witnesses. And then apparently she had like a husband who was abusing her. And people like to. It's just like people like to use this stuff as like a political football to like argue for whatever they believe in.
And also, when you get rich, powerful people. So here's the thing that happens with rich, powerful people: they can't go anywhere, right? If you're like, say, a Jeff Bezos type, or someone who's like an Elon Musk type. And I'm not accusing them of anything. I'm just saying at that caliber of celebrity and that caliber of prominence, you can't go anywhere. If you're Bill Clinton back in the 80s or the 90s, whatever it was, you can't go party. Right. Everybody knows who you are. You got to be protected, right? But you want these experiences. And so you have these guys, like a Jeffrey Epstein type guy, who works with the elite of the elite clientele. It's all movie stars, big-time politicians, world leaders, scientists, Nobel.
Yeah, if you're Bill Clinton, you got to go somewhere, you know what I mean? Like, you got to do a little bit of kid. You just got to do it on a private jet. That's what Jeffrey Epstein provides, you know? That's crazy, man. What is Joe saying?
Prize winners, and they all meet together and have fascinating conversations and cocktails, and there's beautiful girls everywhere. Of course. What a great idea.
Right.
And if you're naive and you don't understand honeypots.
Here's the quote from Maria Farmer, who was one of the accusers from what was inside the house in New York.
Okay, she said, there were monitors inside this cabinet. I looked on the cameras and I saw toilet, bed, toilet, she said, visibly spooked. Like, I'm never going to use the restroom here and I'm never going to sleep here. You know what I mean? It was very obvious that they were like monitoring private moments. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Maria Farmer was the one who worked at Epstein's office in New York, I think.
And this was the house, Jamie?
Yeah, I was looking up stuff on the house. That was like what they
I
found.
wonder if the
in
house still has cameras in it somewhere that they haven't found yet.
They definitely, don't know.
Yeah, you'd have to scan the shit out of that house. You'd have to take the walls apart. There's probably listening devices inside the walls. Like, who knows? If this was like really an intelligence operation, yeah, they probably had that house fully wired.
Maria Farmer, I think she was the chick who was working the front desk at his office in Manhattan. And this is like a funny example of like what I like to do. My mom is super left wing. She's has her degree in fine arts. And,
oh boy!
And she still is like an art professor. And my dad is a ex post office worker. And he's only watches Fox. So my dad only watches Fox. And they're divorced. My mom only watches CNN.
Jesus, why didn't they stay together? How weird.
And I like to like take things that are happening and then controversial things, like for Epstein example, and I like to just like call my mom and argue with her. Like argue the right wing side against my mom's point of view on Epstein, and then I'll call my dad and I'll make the same argument toward the opposite argument towards him. It's like a thought experiment or like a critical thinking exercise.
You use your parents
and
to spar with.
My mom, she'll be like, of course, like Trump. There's more footage of Trump with Epstein than anybody. Are you kidding me? He's partying with him here. Like, of course he's compromised. And then my dad's like, it's Clinton, bro. It's like, it's only Bill Clinton. Look, he's the only one on the Epstein files. Of course we know he's a pervert, all this stuff. But like, and then you have,
yeah, but the enlightened, like middle of the road approach here is that they both are implicated. Joe Rogan will have anybody on a show, man. I don't know who the Danny Jones is. No disrespect to Danny Jones, but I feel like maybe not the most. Doesn't seem like he's the most interesting guy. No, you full disrespect. Okay, fair. He literally did say, I don't care about the Diddy stuff. Rape and sexual coercion being done to adults is perfectly fine by him because there's rape against children that's happening as well.
The funny thing is, both sides will use their little batch of evidence to support their idea and ignore the opposite. Right. So like the girl we were just talking about, Virginia, she was literally on video saying that all this shit about Bill Clinton on the jet, going to the island, hanging out with Trump and all this stuff. And the right wing people, like people I know, my parents and like older folks I know in Florida, will say, she came out. Thank you for exposing Bill Clinton for being a pedo and doing all this stuff. And Virginia Giuffre, after this happened, she's like, you guys didn't listen to the whole tape. She's like, I was telling you that Trump was at the penthouse 3 days a week and visiting him, but you guys don't want to hear that. And it's like, it's just this weird thing. Like if you do the math, there's gotta be so many high level, powerful people that are somehow compromised. And do I think like Clinton and these guys are pedos? No, I don't think that at all. But if you were Jeffrey Epstein,
Dog, are you kidding me? Be for real, dude. Dude, if there's one guy you could absolutely point to, I mean, you could even say that about Trump too, but like, goddamn, Bill Clinton, are we serious? If Bill Clinton's not a pedophile, then who is? I guess it's just an abstract concept that has no relevance in the real world, I guess. Like, what are we talking about, man? Bill Clinton not a pedophile? What?
I think it's super plausible to assume that he would try to trick them with like a girl who looks old, right? Who is possibly like on the borderline of being 18. And you say, oh yeah, this girl, she's 18, 19, 20, whatever. Meanwhile, she's like 17 and they had no idea and they have video footage. And in like a court of law, if I'm the judge, I'm going to let them, like, of course, they lied to him. And this is not like some young girl, obviously. But they lied. Yeah. But like,
bro, what is this argument, bro? Hey, yo. This motherfucker is crazy. What a bizarre way to fucking... dude, did conspiracy theorists lose their minds completely where they just like don't even do the normal conspiracy theories you would expect? What am I going to do? Push back? Joe, yes, you push back when a person is lying to you.
In like the court of public opinion, you're never going to win in that case, right? Like
Right,
if that comes out, you're fucked.
You're fucked. I mean, you're fucked if you just go into the island to bang hookers. Like it's like they're of age. It's still like whatever he was doing. You preyed on people's desire for experiences and vice.
Yes.
And all these powerful people who, again, they can't just go call a hooker and the hooker goes, oh my God, I just blew Bill Gates. This is nuts. You know what I mean? Like, you can't trust them. So you have to trust someone who really has a lockdown organization. And they felt like he did.
Yeah.
And that's why they all hung out with him even after he got arrested. This is what's crazy.
That is crazy.
A lot of Bill Gates meetings with him were after he was prosecuted. And he got this little slap on the wrist, and he got essentially a home detainment. And I think he had to do like weekends at the jail. Like it was like great for underage sex for, you know, what's supposed to be a felony. The whole thing is crazy. And then when there's one reporter that really chased it down, I forget her name, but she really looked into it, and that's when they opened up the second case, the second trial.
Vicky Ward.
Vicky Ward. Was she from what paper?
Vanity Fair.
Vanity Fair. So she was responsible for because she was like, this is insane. Like, what's going on here? And then there was the sheriff that had arrested him, said that I was told he was intelligence. And
no, it was.
I mean, you got to think,
Brown.
if
Julie
a guy
Brown
like that
from Miami
is
Herald
running these kind of parties with all these rich and powerful people, how many different worldwide decisions can be manipulated because of these people and the compromises you have on them?
Right.
It's really a brilliant thing to do.
Yeah.
From an intelligence perspective.
Bro, this is the craziest way